Alright, now we got a red light on. Alright, guys. It's Ben Streeper from 405th.com. If you guys have been following along with the videos, you saw yesterday where we resined our new Halo Reach helmet and several other things. What I'm going to do today is show you how to harden the helmet, since now we've got it stiff enough so where it won't lose its shape. A lot of people like to use fiberglass on the inside. I am retardedly lazy, so I'm going to slush cast Rondo. Rondo is a mixture of Bondo, which is body filler, and resin, which is what actually makes fiberglass hard. So I'll show you how to mix the resin with the Bondo, what increments to use, how to brush it in, and all that good stuff. And today, special guest via Skype is Lee Calhoun. That's LeeKeegan on the 405th, if you guys know him. Lee, you want to say hi to the guys?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Alright. I would be live casting right now because I did get a camera from Dreads on the 405th. But I don't have a microphone. So what I did is I got with Lee, I got his phone number, I gave him a call. He's actually got his phone up to the ear so he can hear me. And he's viewing what we're doing through Skype. What he's going to do is he's going to ask some questions to play you, 405th. Or you, Mr. YouTube viewer. Because Lee has never actually worked with Rondo before. Lee also has never made a helmet before. So he was a good candidate to choose. Just in case you don't know what Lee does, Lee is the 405th and, in my opinion, the world's greatest prop weapon manufacturer. This was made by LeeKeegan, and it is just immaculate. So from one master on Skype to an amateur over here, we're going to get some insight.
Thank you very much.
Oh, there you go, Lee. You got any questions before I start?
Well, you mix and put it in there.
Say that again. Lee, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Alright, say that question again.
I said, what materials do you have to use for safety and stuff?
For safety, it's a good question. Same as everything else, guys. What we're going to do, I'll go ahead and put some on now since I'm about to start. I've got my vinyl gloves, and with this you can use vinyl or latex. I always buy vinyl because my wife is allergic to latex. Also because I do a lot of latex molding and silicone molding, and having latex gloves is bad for that. So you need your gloves. You are going to need a respirator. You're going to have to get a respirator that says organic fumes. The reason being for that is any respirator will not filter the fumes for resin and Bondo. They are organic fumes, so you have to get an organic fume respirator. These are available at Home Depot, 20 bucks. Any other questions before I start?
Let's see, I'm trying to think. How does the, well, no, because I'll ask you, I want to know how it applies and everything.
No, go ahead.
Well, I mean, when you put it in and you paint it, does it stick to what you're painting it on, or does it run?
It will stick. I don't know if you've ever made Jello pudding before.
Yep.
Have you ever thrown it up against a wall?
No.
Has your son? Well, think about when you're making Jello pudding and you're mixing it up. It has the exact same consistency. You know how it'll slide a little bit when there's a lot of Jello pudding, but when there's not a lot of Jello pudding, it actually will stick to the walls.
Okay.
It works the exact same way. If you make it any thinner or any thicker than that, you won't get the consistency that you need.
Okay, so you're going to tell us how much?
I'm going to show you exactly how much to use each time. I got 4 cups to use in case I need to make more. I also have an extra thick mixing stick because Bondo is thicker than resin. You cannot use my favorite little mixing sticks here. But the good news is Bondo, or Rondo as it were, will harden to this as you're mixing it up. So you can use the same mixing stick every time.
Okay.
So this is just a small dowel rod that I took a hatchet and cut up. You don't have to take a hatchet, guys, but that's just what I had laying around. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and put on the respirator, unless you got any more questions.
No, I'll ask as you go.
Alright. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Lee?
You're muted, but I can hear you good.
Alright. What you're going to do first is open up your Bondo. Now, if you haven't opened this before, you're going to have to get a screwdriver or something to pry it off, just like a paint can. Take your mixing stick, mix it up a little bit, because it's going to be thick inside. If it's too thick, you can actually just pour a little bit of resin in there to thin it up. Now keep in mind that if you pour some resin in there, you're not going to want to use this for anything other than propping. So now we got that thinned out a little bit. It'll actually pour right in.
It's pretty smooth. Looks about like smooth on 3025.
It's very similar, only you can get this at Walmart. Alright, now make sure you put your lid back on. Don't worry about the dripping and the excess. If you're that worried, scrape it off. I'm not. This will dry out and stick. It's not going anywhere.
Now, how much are you putting in the cup?
Alright, that's a good question. Let me bring this over. You can see, since this is the first batch, I filled up quite a bit of Bondo. So there's quite a bit of Bondo in here. Now the fiberglassing resin, shake that up a little bit. And pour
And do you
in.
have to use the hardener with that?
Yes. Now before I mix this, I'm going to come over to the camera and show you guys how much resin I have in there. Alright, now that is not a lot of resin. Not a lot of resin. It's just enough resin to make this